I'm Philip Reeve and I'm a writer. I was an illustrator many years ago, but that's pretty much fallen by the wayside now, and I just write for a living. I've always kind of daydreamed a lot, and I invent imaginary worlds a lot. I invent places in my head. Sometimes they're like whole planets, and sometimes it might be a little island. And I start to people them with characters in my imagination and invent stories that might happen there. But if they seem interesting enough, then I will grab a notebook and start writing little ideas down. And that's where Mortal Engines came from. I started writing this kind of elaborate fantasy science fiction world, which then sort of spawned a bunch of sequels and prequels and kept me busy for about 10 years, really, one way and another. Yeah, everything is an inspiration. I mean, everything you read and everything you watch on telly and all the films you see and everything that happens in the news, it kind of all goes in. It's a bit like dreams, I think, you know, when you kind of dream at night, then you'll pick up strange little details of the day or of your life that you didn't think were important at the time, and then suddenly there they are, transformed in some way in a dream. And the same kind of thing happens when you're writing a story. I've lived on Dartmoor for the last 25 years, more or less, and that's a place that inspires me a lot. I walk a lot up at the top of the moor, and I think a lot about stories while I'm walking. Although the stories aren't necessarily about Dartmoor. I mean, a lot of the ones I'm probably best known for still are the Mortal Engines series, which are set in sort of vast motorised cities of the distant future, so it's very un-Dartmoor. But then other ones, like the Utterly Dark books that I'm working on at the moment, are set on an imaginary island out in the western sea somewhere. I've tried to describe in sort of quite vivid detail the landscapes of them, which are based a lot on places I know here on the moor. Yeah, this past year I've been working on a film purely for my own amusement. I sort of started out, I kind of come from movies in a way. I used to make films on Super 8 cine film back in my teens and 20s. So that's what I've been doing. I'm making an Arthurian film called Guinevere with my wife Sarah as director of photography and co-director, really. I had great fun making all sorts of props and costumes and things, and lovely people who've loaned us brilliant looking costumes. So that's been great. I've been running a little film studio. It's satisfying to make things. Yeah, when you're writing and it's sort of going well, actually it's sort of like flying over a landscape and things come into view. You think, oh, okay, I don't know where that came from, but I'll have that. That's very nice. And that's very exciting. That's the good bit of it, of course. There's a lot of times when you're just sitting, bashing away at a manuscript and knowing that it isn't really very good, and you've got to somehow make the best of it. So a lot of it is just kind of hard graft, but you get rewarded by occasionally these moments where it sort of all flows, and it's lovely.